He's never heard of Tezlyn, has not seen this.
It's interesting.
And you're a black man.
I'm black.
The real issue is people don't want to be accountable to the fact.
He has to yell just to have a conversation.
She's so immature. That's all that is immaturity, and that's a person that is so immature and is not ready for real discussion about anything. She's more impressed about or more chasing clicks and views, and she's the new Jerry Springer, new Phil Donahue, new impose
Sally Jesse Raphael, Ricky Lake.
It's the old adage of I'm going to be as scandalous as possible and act as crazy as possible, and so and what you do is you bring on people that are intellectuals in their own right, you know what I'm saying, and then you bring them on and then you chastise them when they're trying to get a point across, you know. And that gentleman right there, he's basically trying to make a point, and he's trying to start with like, hey, look, the basics. He said it doesn't have anything to do with abortion. Let's talk where the root of it is and have a conversation with our young people about having premarital sex.
Right.
And
I don't think she's acting though.
Oh, she's not.
She's not acting.
But that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
This is who she is.
This is who she is, but it's an immaturity thing.
Oh, it is.
But the fact that the cameras are on is even exponentially this a lot more. So
right.
Well, go ahead.
And he said we got.
Well, the last thing I'll say, is tiring. I couldn't watch this whole thing.
Oh,
I wouldn't watch this whole thing. But go ahead, we'll watch it.
I know you ain't getting another night, man. Make sure y'all
But see, that's not. She's not going to win any black men over.
No, not at all.
To the Democrat Party, and so
no, not at all.
If whatever reason they felt like she was going to win anybody over, she's sadly mistaken.
And only one person on this stage organized over 2,000 people every year. Only one person was a racial justice director. Only one. Because remember, you don't.
Well, there you go.
Exhausting.
Well, not only.
But we got to finish that little segment. But go ahead.
Not only exhausting, but once again, you're going to find her single and by herself all the time. And I hate to bring that up, but that is what most black men will say that is the most. It's a turnoff that she decided to. Let me tell you my resume.
Ooh.
Let me tell you my resume because this is my show. When you bring all these intellectuals together, what it does is shows how insecure you are. Once again, immaturity and insecurity at the same time. Because if you have to bring out your resume because someone's challenging you on your opinion or your thought process and a way of you not thinking of it, and you take it as disrespect or you feel some type of way, it just shows that your lack of just thought and just lack of just maturity.
Yes.
Just lack of maturity. And what you're hearing now is lack of maturity and just a person that is insecure.
Yes.
All around insecure. Well,
yes. And I felt like the black men that were on here were so nice and so kind despite being attacked like that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's part, to be honest, that's par for the course for what, black men have to deal with on a certain level. Now, there's like, listen,
I have a headache.
Like, listen, the problem is when you get someone like her and she can't get all young jocks to come on her show and talk about anything, you know what I'm saying, outside of giving back to the community. But when she gets a young man like that who comes up and speaks, a poignant question, has opinions and thoughts, she can't handle that because she's used to be, like she said, the big dog in the room, which she obviously is. But, that men were probably using the other term for the female dog.
I say pit bull.
Well, they weren't calling her a pit bull.
Oh, I know.
I believe you that. But in any case, and she probably loves that though. She loves him. Her favorite thing is probably emasculating men and making them feel a certain way, because that's how, when she snaps her neck and claps her hands and, you know, reads her resume at the same time, you know, the only one that feels important is her. So I think that, you know, I'm glad that I didn't watch that debate or didn't watch this show.
Yeah.
And I would imagine that she has a very limited audience. And it's unfortunate. I mean, because she sounds smart, but at the same time, hey, she could be doing it for entertainment value. And
I don't think so. I don't think
soul.
she's ever learned how to regulate her emotions. That's a part of growing up and being a mature adult.
Yeah,
People are going to disagree with you, and you handle it like a mature adult that is in control. Yeah, and she was totally out of control.
Yeah, she was out of control on that. And I think that guy was basically saying that, you know, and he was, you know, kind of inferring that that in his, what he was trying to say is that this is the reason why Black folks are not moving forward, is because when we have conversations like this, there are those that want to
they don't want to listen.
Well, they want to pump themselves up to be the savior of whatever this platform is. You know what I'm saying? And so by pumping themselves up and saying, look, I brought all these people together. This woman wouldn't be here if I didn't respect her, even though I'm disrespecting her. You wouldn't be.
She totally disrespected Michaela.
You wouldn't be here if I didn't have this platform. And you got to respect the person that brought you here or brought you to the party. I don't care what your opinions are. I only care about how I feel when you talk to me.
Right.
If I feel like you're smarter than me, I don't want to hear it.
Right. So therefore, I'm going to overtalk you.
Oh, yeah.
Because that essentially shuts you down. But I think, you know, when I initially saw this a couple days ago, you know, I was kind of amazed how she out-talked the men.
Well, because here's the thing. Those men right there were not there to battle with her.
Right.
They weren't here to battle with her. You know what I'm saying? And you know what? All those men were heterosexual men.
They were.
They were heterosexual men. And so heterosexual men are not going to battle with a female.
Okay.
They're not going to battle with a female. They're not gay.
Oh.
They don't have a gay tendency or feminine energy. So why would they battle with a female when at the end of the result, they know that it's not going to come off good for them?
Okay.
They're going to allow you to speak your mind. But in their silence, what you see is when another male, heterosexual male, sees it, he already recognizes that that man was in his right mind. He wasn't arguing. He wasn't screaming. He was talking to her. And when the moment that he had inflection in his voice, she couldn't handle that.
No.
And that goes back to father figures and, you know, not having maybe a male figure in your life.
Yeah, but she treated Michaela the same way.
But
she gave her the same smoke.
That's what I'm talking about, though. It's still anyone that gives you any type of pushback, you can't handle it. And
right.
So,
yeah.
And that just goes from a whole lot of, like, we could even call it bullying to a certain extent if you really want to. But you know, God bless her. I hope that I'm sure she has an audience somewhere, and somebody in someplace really enjoys that stuff. So
I don't know who, but I just know after I had watched this interview, I had a slight headache, and I was just like, you know, oh my God, like if you tune into a show like that, you want to at least hear everyone's complete thought.
Yeah.
She's not even allowing people to express a complete thought.
She wasn't.
So that's exhausting.
It was.
Exhausting.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Girl. We can't.
Do better.
Do better.
Do better.
Do better.